Hey, welcome back, everybody. And this is Thomas's Dasher Stories. And I'm using my technique when I'm not getting any orders coming in. Let's go ahead and shoot a video. Usually I get interrupted right in the middle of trying to shoot a little video by an order, so we'll see if that happens. Tried to make a little video earlier today, got interrupted by an order. I probably only shot about 20 something seconds, so I deleted it. Anyways, I'm back in my regular car today. I say regular because it's the car that I've owned for the last October will be 3 years. I still got about a month or about a year or so of payments left to make on it, which is the reason why I went and took some money out of my savings and went and bought a little, a cheap $2003 Buick Regal that I can also put some miles on, and that way I don't burn out the car I still have to make payments on. Have a car I can put a bunch of miles on that I own outright, and if I run it into the ground, as long as I get 27 good days out of work out of it, which would be 27 days where I make $100 or more with it, then I've made my money back on the car. So anyways, speaking about the Buick, I learned last night that I cannot take that thing out after dark. How big it is, the way the headlights are on it, the fact that the windows don't really work. I'm going to have to get that fixed. I have to see who can get into the motor and see if they can get the power windows fixed. Car runs great. It still runs fine. It's just the windows. So between the fact of the windows not being able to go down, the lights aren't the greatest on it, the low beams, the high beams are great, but the low beams are not so great, and how big the car is, that I'm very low in it when I sit in it. So basically, long story short, I had like 2 feet in front of me that the car is illuminated. And the fact that it's not as nice as this car is on the inside, and I've spent 3 years being very meticulous on keeping the inside of this car clean. I've smoked a few cigarettes in the Buick, so there's a little bit of a film on the window from that. So I learned last night I could not have that car out after dark. So basically, I went out and did a little bit of dashing yesterday, and then came back to my house, did a few things, and drove over to my parents because I had to take care of a few things over there. Also, my bank is in the same town. And basically stopped by my mom's work, said hi to her, went to the bank, and she told me, hey, I'm gonna buy pizza tonight. And so I stayed over at my parents' house longer than I normally would have had I not been waiting to eat pizza. So I didn't get out of there till after dark. Got on the road and realized that not only was I not able to see it all just regularly, I was barely able to see it all regularly, but then every single time a car passed me and the headlights shined towards me, oh my God, I was completely blind. It's a 20-mile drive, about 40 minutes or so from my mom's house to where I live. And I've had a lot of experiences on the road. When I was involved in the wrestling business, I did a lot of traveling. I've had a paper route before where I worked 7 days a week, 3 to 4 or 3 to 7 in the morning. I've always lived up in an area where there wasn't a lot of work. So ever since I've had a car, I've always commuted. I've always driven. I've had a lot of experiences on the roads, whether it comes to near misses, bad situations, fires. I've driven through wildfires before. I've driven on literally no sleep to where I'm nodding off every 2 minutes. I'm nodding off, and I'm struggling to keep myself awake. Coming back from a wrestling event or something at 3 a.m. I left Reno one time for a wrestling event at midnight because I had to go do my paper route at 4. I normally start at 3, 4 in the morning. I left Reno at midnight, and as I got to the top of the pass going over the Sierras, the storm hit. And basically I spent the whole time going over the pass until you got down into Auburn, going about 30 miles an hour in the snowstorm, not being able to see. I had no chains on the car. I got big rigs blowing by me at 50, 60 miles an hour. You know, I've had a lot of experiences in the car. I feel like I'm pretty level-headed and cool, and I can handle any experience while driving. And last night, that 40-minute drive from my mom's, well, I had to stop at Safeway. That 40-minute drive from my mom's to the Safeway scared the shit out of me. It was one of the scariest experiences I've ever had driving a car, just because I couldn't see. And I just got to order for Wingstop, so I'm going to leave the video here, and I will catch you guys on my next clip.